Hi, I am Dyuti. Today we are going to talk about pivot tables. So pivot tables are one of the very powerful data mining technique used to analyze, summarize and quickly extract insights out of your large data sets. So come to my screen, I'll show you how to create pivot tables and analyze your data in Microsoft Excel. So let's begin with the pivot table. So before you insert pivot table in your Excel sheet, you need to understand that you need to meet two requirements. First, your data must be in the vertical form, like you need to have columns followed by your data. And then second is your data must be continuous. So there should not be either any empty row or empty column. Okay, so let's start with creating the pivot table. It's very easy to create. So what you have to do is you have to just keep your cursor on the leftmost top column of the table, and then you need to go to insert, click on the pivot table in the insert tab. Now this pivot table window has come. Now please note that here it will give you the option to either create the pivot table in the new worksheet or in the existing worksheet. So what we are going to do is we will do it in new worksheet. Although you can keep in existing worksheet also wherever you want to place. But for this class, we will keep in new worksheet. Now what I'll do is I'll click on OK. So now you can see that your pivot table has appeared on your left side, okay, and on the right side you can see the pivot table fields. Okay, now here what we are going to do is based on the requirement we will generate the pivot table. Now just by seeing the data, suppose if I tell you to give me total number of quantity of each items you can see in the data, we have shirt, jacket, we have pants, okay, and there we have respective quantities. So just by seeing the data it is very difficult for us to make any kind of inferences. So now you can see with the help of pivot table how easily you can analyze this data. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just keep this question here. So you can see in the pivot table fields, we have different columns or fields here, which we are required to drag in below four sections, okay, depending upon the requirement. Like for example, if I have to group my records with each unique value of a column, then we are going to drag that in rows. Okay. So if we have to do any kind of broke down value, we will drag it in columns. Then if we have to summarize any of the column value, we will drag it in values. And if we have to put any kind of criteria on the given column, so we will put that in filters. So depending upon the requirement, we will be using any of these four areas or section. Now here you can see I wanted to find total number of quantity of each item. So items I will drag it in rows. Okay. And I wanted to find total number of quantity. So I will drag that in values section. So by default, you can see I have got total calculated. So here you can see for jackets, I have got the total quantity as 246, pants I have got 194, shirts I have got 207, and grand total I have got it by default. Okay. So let's move to the second question. That is find total number of quantity of each item broken down according to colors. Okay. So whenever we have to broke down any value, in that case, we are going to drag it in the column section. So let's first insert the pivot table. So I'm going to keep my cursor on the A1 cell and then I'll click on insert. I'll go to the pivot table. I'll just click. So my table will be automatically selected and then I'll click on OK. Okay. Now let's do this second question. Find total number of quantity of each item broken down according to colors. So here what I will do is, so according to each item. Now currently I am not able to see this pivot table field. So what I'll do is in this pivot table, I'll just click. So when I just click, so my pivot table fields will appear. Okay. Now for each item, so I will drag item in the rows. Okay. And then we have to broke it down by color. So I will drag colors in the columns. Okay. And then I will drag the quantity in the values. Okay. So now you can see we are getting total number of quantity for each item. Like jackets, I'm getting for blue color 81, for red color 128, for white color 37, and then I'm getting respective grand total in the row and in the column. What if I want to off this grand total in the row and column? That also you can do. So what you have to do is you have to go to the design tab, and here in the design tab you can see we have grand totals. Okay, so what I will do is I will click on off rows and columns, so I am able to off the grand total, okay, in the rows and columns respectively. Okay, so lot many customizations in terms of pivot table can be done. So now again, third question is, if you see, we need to find the total number of quantity for each size according to items. So I will take down, okay, let me first insert the pivot table. So I'll just click on this A1 cell, and I'll go to the insert, and I'll click on the pivot table. My table is selected. I'll click on OK. I'll bring that question here. So that is third question. Okay. Now let's say I wanted to find total number of quantity for each size according to items. Okay, so let's say within the item I wanted size. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll drag this size below the item. Okay, so let me check. No, it has not come. So let me drag it once again. So now it has come. And then what I'll do is I'll bring the quantity in the value section. Okay. So now I can see total number of quantity for each size according to item. So how nice we are able to analyze this data. So by just seeing the table or the data, it is very difficult to make any inferences. But when we take help of pivot table, we are able to summarize the data. We are able to extract insights, as well as we are able to calculate any kind of statistics. Like by default sum you are able to calculate. You can also calculate average, standard deviation, so on so forth. So that also we will see. Let's say in the first case, for example, instead of sum of quantity, I wanted to calculate average. So what I can do is, okay, let me off this grand total to make sense. So I will go to the design tab. I'll off my grand total. Now I wanted to find average. So what I will do is in the value section, I'll go to the sum of quantity. I'll click, and here in the value field settings, what I can do is I will click on average. So, and then if you want to do some kind of window dressing, like you wanted to control the number of decimal digits after the decimal, you can go to the home tab, and here you can decrease the number of decimal digits here. Let's say I wanted to have for 2 decimal digits, so I can do it in this way. Okay. So this is giving me average of quantity. Okay. Now, here the last question I will talk about. So we need to find total number of quantity for different colors only for jacket. Okay, so how to do this? So let's insert the pivot table first. So we are going to the insert tab, click on the pivot table. Okay, and I'll click on OK. Now pivot table has come here. Now based on the requirement, we will generate the pivot table. Okay, before proceeding, I'll request you to like, subscribe to my channel, and share the video and share the channel to all your friends. You might not know who may need it, so please share it with your friends. Thank you. Now, let's get this total number of quantity for different colors only for jacket. So what I'll do is color wise, first I will find out total number of quantity. Okay, so we have got for every color total quantity. Now I wanted only for the jackets. Okay, so what I have to do here is I need to put a criteria on the item. Okay, so I'll drag this item in the filter section here. Okay, now you can see in this Excel sheet, in the first row you can see item has come. And if I do this drop down, if I click on the drop down, I can see currently all the items are by default coming. So what I'll do is I'll click on select multiple items. Okay. and then I will uncheck and I'll click on jacket. Okay, now I am able to see only for jackets. Okay, color wise total quantity. Now in this I would like to tell, like for example, you wanted to say that which of the color has highest total number of quantity. So in that case, what you can do is you can sort this data. So you can just click on this value, that is 81, and right click here, and you can click on sort. You can see Z to A. Okay, so that is descending order. So you can see red color has the highest number of quantity. Okay, so like this, you can use the pivot table to do data mining or analyzing your data. So hope this has add value to you, and you have already learned pivot tables. So let's meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.